All right, guys. So I recently made a video regarding uh, Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was giving a speech involving theism in general. Like the first half was primarily targeting Christianity in particular, and then he kind of went into Islam and his version of history and why he thought that they kind of went backward in terms of science progression. So a person commented in the video description, or not description, but in the comments, and we had a dialogue, and I was led to look further into it. So, first, I will repeat what I said because I do believe it to be true. As humans, no matter how you feel about authority, you have to rely on it at some point. What I mean by that is imagine that you're a human being. Like let's put it this way. I believe it's possible to be too open-minded or too skeptical. What I mean by that is if you get a person that is so skeptical or so open-minded that they reject, geez, Ron, get down, bud. Get down. That they don't trust any authoritative source at all. They think that science is like BS. They think that everything any sort of authority figure or like major groups say is some sort of conspiracy theory. They believe the earth is flat, etc. Like you know what I'm getting at here. I hope you do anyway. So that is what happens when you get too open-minded, too skeptical. Because a human being does not have enough time in their entire lifetime to learn everything from scratch without relying on anyone else and just like I don't know, like you would get rid of every branch of science. You would start fresh from your own perspective, and you would like go into the woods, for example, and you would like evaluate rocks and flora and fauna, and everything you believed was solely based on your own personal experience. I hate to say this, but you would be extremely ignorant and you would be likely to come to some extremely incorrect conclusions about the world. So that's kind of what I meant by what I said. With that being said, what I said is that you kind of have to use your critical thinking early on with specific figures, like in this case, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and decide whether or not you think that person is a credible source of information. And you kind of have to use that as like a guide. Well, let's put it this way. You don't have to, but you're just going to drive yourself crazy to go and evaluate in detail every single claim every individual makes. You'll get nothing done. Like that'll be your whole freaking life. So I stand by that. But this person pushed me enough to where I dug in. And first, it seems that the Bush comment from Neil deGrasse Tyson was incorrect. He never claimed that the stars were named by, quote, our God, meaning the Christian God. He didn't say that. And after having looked at the transcript of his actual speech, I don't know how he got that, where it came from. In any case, with one mistake, at least in this exact same speech, I could give him the benefit of the doubt and be just a little bit skeptical about his words and just say like, maybe he misremembered, maybe someone told him incorrectly and he believed them, or whatever. There's a lot of possibility. But in the same speech, calm down, Ron, he also made another incorrect claim, and it's a pretty big one. The whole claim on, I think it's Ghazali, I may mispronounce that. I'm not looking at it at this exact moment. But he made a claim that a very influential Muslim scholar was the reason why Muslims backtrack from science, and they kind of hurt themselves ever since, because he claimed, or allegedly said, that numbers are the work of the devil. And then they started mistrusting science from that point on. So this is not true after having dug into and researching the claim. So there's at least two incorrect statements made by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it's worth noting he's a public figure and he reaches a lot of people. So it's kind of on him to thoroughly research his claims. So for me, two in the same speech, he's kind of lost credibility to me. I can't trust him. Not at this point. At the very least, I'm going to have to start over with him, and if I do decide to give him another chance, I'm going to have to take it like piece by piece and actually research all of his claims. Yeah. So I have to make those corrections. Although I didn't necessarily make the exact same claims he did, but it's sort of implicit that I'm playing the video, that I'm pushing him as a credible source of information, that I'm sort of implicitly stating that I agree with everything he says, unless I say otherwise. So I'll concede that I was incorrect about those things. And yeah, I feel like that's the proper thing to do. Again, my goal is not to prove that I'm right about anything. My goal is to seek truth. And in that vein, I thank the commenter for bringing it to my attention, because now I'm better equipped to reach the quote truth in the future. Thank you for your time.